Hey everybody, it's Thursday again, which means it is our Thursday night training call. This is Kathleen Hepler, Diamond Ambassador, and with me I have my favorite friend, Liza Reeve.
Ooh, favorite.
I know, tonight you're my favorite. We're going to start the call today. I'm muting everybody again. We're going to start the call today. We have, as we said right before we started recording, tons of stuff. Whenever Liza and I are on, we have like jam-packed stuff. So if you were with us last week, you might have heard from Aaron and Amy, and they talked about convention stuff. But everything that they talked about before is nothing of what we're going to talk about tonight. Nothing. So if for the people that said, oh, yeah, I heard this stuff last week, why am I on it again? You're missing out because we got a whole, convention was, 4 days of awesomeness. So we got to jam that into 2 little sessions. So we broke it up. So Liza and I today are going to talk about a bunch of the information that was presented to us in different formats. Again, we can't relate everything to you and get that same feel. You just need to be there to get that feel. But we're going to do as best we can. And just to give you an idea, we had Victor Antonio. If you haven't heard of him, he was the MC of the whole event. He would come on stage and chit chat and all that kind of thing. He had a show called Life or Debt, DEBT. Really, really, really good show. If you haven't seen it, you can go on Netflix and check that out. He talks all about financial stuff. So he did a great job engaging the whole audience and pulling everything together. But we also had some great guest speakers. We're going to talk about them first. We have Kendra Hall, she was with us before. She did storytelling. She did even more with the storytelling aspect and how it relates to Plexus. We also had Carrie Wilkerson, who, if you haven't heard of her, she is the not Barefoot CEO, Barefoot Executive, thank you. I was thinking of Barefoot Contessa from the Food Network show, not the same chick.
On stage. I mean, how cool is that?
I know, she's super cool. And if you haven't followed her, she's got tons of books out. And I think someone posted in Gold Diggers today about one of her books that is on sale for like $2.99.
Veronica, $2.99 on Kindle. Her newest book, yep.
Yes, thank you, Veronica, for that. So we're going to talk about Carrie Wilkerson also. And we also had Les Brown. We're not going to hit on him as much. If you haven't heard of Les Brown, L-E-S Brown, his story is just gut-wrenching, unreal. And we can't even do him justice, but you can research him. The fact that he was up on stage and it brought him to tears, his own story brought him to tears. I'm sure he doesn't do that very often. So, man, that whole week was the most emotional roller coaster. I laughed and cried more times in a 20-minute span. Laughed and cried. I can't even tell you how many times. So again, I'm not going to harp on it because the ladies did last week. But if you are on the fence of convention, leaders retreat, any of these events, these are life-changing, life-altering events that are just no question that you need to go to these. So why don't we start, my dear Liza, with some Kendra Hall stuff.
Okay, perfect. So as Kath said, on Monday night when Amy and Aaron did the call, they talked about all the announcements, like just amazing announcements. And we're going to try our best to give you the meat of convention. But I can't say it enough. Kath's already said it. When you're there, you just take away something really special than just coming onto a call. So take what the information that we give you. I'm going to give you resources too. Like I'm going to tell you exactly how to get Kendra Hall's information on a daily basis because I truly believe that you need to hear her. Like I was watching some of her videos today. I've been getting emails from her since convention. So if you went to Super Saturday, you know exactly who she is. She was that awesome little blonde that got on the screen for about 10 minutes and just talked about storytelling. And we have said it in this business since the get-go, facts sell, but stories tell. And she is an incredible person. She's little. She's this tiny little person. And she gets on and she has this voice just like this. And it's just, when you're with her and you're hearing her, you feel what she has to say. And she tells stories. Like she got on and the first thing she does is tell stories. And I want to give you some information that she provided us. She shared with us 2 different videos. A young woman who was an entrepreneur And the first video was info on her product and info on how it was produced and some little other information maybe that you can speculate on her life. But when you watch the video, you're like, okay, great, that's a great bag. It was a good video. The second video was so personal, information on the product, production, but then you got the meaning behind it, how it made you feel when you watched that video. You learned about her story. You instantly got connected to that entrepreneur. You knew that her parents now passed away. Her parents passed away, which helped her into this entrepreneurship of building bags and getting into this production and this small business and the meaning behind each and every bag. I watched that second video and I wanted to go and find, it was Soul Carrier. I wanted to go and buy a Soul Carrier bag right away. The first video, I was like, oh yeah, those are cute bags. But when the second video came on and you really heard the woman's emotion, you heard her story, you wanted to go and buy her product. And that is so true for us, and it's all about details too, you guys. It's about details. It's about being personal. And I know even for myself, when I first started Plexus and I had my own story, we tell you guys all the time, learn from us because we made the mistakes and we're telling you what not to do because we went through the process of that. I would puke Plexus, oh my gosh, blah, 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 blah. It's my belly issues are gone, my TMJ is gone. But the minute I just focused on one part of my story and got personal and gave details about it, I could say to somebody, oh yeah, my belly issues are gone, my TMJ is gone, I don't have any more anxiety. But if I can focus on TMJ and talk about how debilitating, if you use words like that, debilitating it was, life altering, and how it's changed my life, that is what we need to do when we're telling stories. Stories are going to sell. People want to hear from us. They want to know what the products are doing for us, not our friends, not a testimony that we're going to copy and paste on Facebook. They want to know our story. So it's so important. And I was watching a video today and it was all about stopping traffic. Stop traffic. Your story, people should want to stop and listen to what you have to say. So there's a lot of different ways that you can connect with her, and the best way that I feel, she gave it to us at convention. If you just look her up, just Google Kindra Hall, it's with an I, Kindra, and just sign up for her emails. She started yesterday, she sent the email about stopping traffic, and now for the next 3 to 4 days, she's sending a story each day to learn how to do just that. And that's what's important. And that's what she talked about. And she wasn't on stage very long, if I remember correctly, maybe 20 minutes, half hour. But she really made an impact, I think, on a lot of people because oftentimes we just give the facts. Okay, Plexus can do X, Y, and Z. But it's all about telling your story or somebody else's story, but with details and personal and connection. You all know I'm big on relationships, and if I have a new person come into my network, I don't even bring up Plexus until maybe the 5th, 6th, 7th time I've spoken to them. But if Plexus is part of me and my story, it's going to just it's going to be organic, and that's the way it should be. So just look her up, Google her, sign up for her email subscription, and you'll get emails every day or every other day. For me, they go into my promotions file, so look for them there. If every single email, she has a video, and she's just so charismatic and so personal and it's practice, you guys, too. It's practice makes perfect. I see Kath nodding her head because this takes practice. And don't think that you're being a fool, and don't be ashamed to stand in the mirror and tell your story.
Absolutely. And even if you feel like, oh, man, I don't have a story. I don't have a huge MJ issue or a weight loss story. You have you. Your friends and your family know you. So whatever however this company has changed you, that's what you bring forward. Up on stage was Helen McFadden. She's another Diamond Ambassador friend of ours, and she had been one of the testers for the new X Factor Plus. She came on stage and told her story about, she's just turned 50, how her hot flashes have decreased. And so if you don't, and everybody has a story, but just the way that she presented X Factor Plus, I wanted to get it. I don't have hot flashes. I wanted to get it. And I couldn't wait to tell other people about that. Rather than saying, hey, menopause, I'm sure you got it. Who wants to hear that stuff? But if you start talking about other friends of yours, those stories connect people. So one thing I really, really loved with her is how she, about Kendra Hall, is when she told little details about life and just kind of snuck little details into her story. So it made us connect with her and made our own mental pictures of exactly what she was going through. My mental picture is completely different than Liza's because it connects my history to her present. It's super cool. So that is one thing that, as Liza said, you definitely have to practice. Yes. So I would really encourage you to find your partner, find your buddy that you rely on with Plexus and say, hey, I don't really have a story, but this is me. How can I develop a story? And do it together. I mean, we do that when I was teaching in school. We would do storytelling and writing together, and it makes so much better. And then if you think, well, where am I going to have to present this to anybody? You can talk about it with one person on the street or in a sip and see with a whole bunch of people. There's so many different opportunities for you to share your life. And as soon as you put those little snippets in, other people will be able to connect with you. We should do that now that I'm rambling, because you know, guys, I like to ramble a lot. We should do that. All of us should come on and do one call of our story. And so we could kind of present it to you guys, and you guys could not critique it, because I don't take critiques very well, so don't do that. But like, listen to it maybe and see what you think. I don't know, just off the top of my head. But anyway, sorry, Liza, go ahead.
No, that I'm good. I'm good with Kendra, so I can move on to something else. Or
yes, I'm gonna come back to Kendra when Veronica and Danielle come on later on too. Okay. But go ahead. Let's go on to Carrie Wilkerson. Oh my God. This girl is like the tiniest little spitfire of I love her lots. Like, I get her. She came to Hawaii when we were in Hawaii last year. I don't even remember now.
Yeah, last year. She got real.
She did. And if you know any of the jewels and all, they're fancy. And she called them all out, like stripped down the fancy. I like that a lot. So I appreciate her tons, but let's go on to her. Do you want to give that a heads up?
I want you to piggyback on this because you saw my notes earlier. I sent them to you. So we, like Kath said, we had the opportunity to see Carrie in Hawaii, and then she was at Leaders Retreat in Dallas for us as well. So we saw her there. And, you know, Carrie's catchphrase is "Stop it." So whenever a negative thing comes into your head, or an I can't, or I won't, or this can't, then it's stop it. So you got to stop telling yourself you can't or you won't. No try. There's no try. And the word try is out of your vocabulary with this business. I will. I can. I will. So you have, and the whole context of this convention was believe. Believe in yourself, believe in your brand, believe in your business. And that was both her and Les Brown, and even Victor when he got up there, that was what we heard. And the one thing, and it's funny because if you saw my post earlier tonight, I volunteered in my daughter's classroom today, and we were talking business. And for fourth grade, for junior achievements, it's all about entrepreneurs. So, hey, look at that. And we were talking about small businesses today. And I talked about this story because this story Carrie brought up, and I posted this today. Aaron posted it a couple of days ago. Ronald Wayne. So just listen to the story, and then this was honestly the whole context of the hour she was on stage. Ronald Wayne was one of the 3 people who invented Apple, sat in Steve Jobs' garage, and they created the first Macintosh desktop. Okay. He then became nervous, essentially. People didn't believe in him. They were mocking him, making fun of him. You can't do it. What are you doing with yourself? So he said to these 2 gentlemen, I'm just going to sell you my part of this business because I want nothing to do with it. He sold his share of Apple for $800 to the other 2 gentlemen. Apple is now worth over 700 billion, I don't even know, billions and billions of dollars. And she stated factually that now he and his family are selling archived things, from notes that he took with Steve Jobs in the garage to even little parts of computers to pay for his bills. So think about that for a minute. Are you going to walk away? I'm not walking away. I'm not going to be a Ronald Wayne. I believe. And if you didn't believe in yourself, or you don't believe in yourself or this company or the products right now, then take this information and run with it. And if you need belief, borrow it from me and Kath, because we have more than enough to give when it comes to our business, the company, and the products. He is now, Carrie actually stood up there and said, think about his wife. She's very animated. She's an animated presenter. And like Kath said before, it's really hard to present her information without it coming out of her mouth. But that was the basis. Do what you need to do to believe in yourself and to run a successful business. And when it comes to those negative thoughts, get them out of your head. One of the first stories she started to talk about was, her and her entire family are going to Hawaii in a few weeks, and her and her husband are going to renew their vows, and they're going to all get a family picture in Hawaii. And she just wanted, was it black and white or blue and white? So everybody, the men were going to be in black, the women, all the girls were going to be in white. And she has lost 140 pounds over the course of a couple of years, and she knew that she wanted to wear a white dress. So she goes and she said she tried on 20, 25 white dresses, but every time she put one on, she said to herself, her brain said to her, fat girls don't wear white. Fat girls don't wear white. She said this on stage, fat girls don't wear white, and just kept saying it over and over to herself. So no dress was comfortable for her, nor was she even thinking anything positive when she put it on her body. Guys, she left us with a video of an ambassador's daughter, all about belief and believing that you can do certain things, even if it looks like it's completely out of your control. You can do it. So she left the stage. I got goosebumps.
Yeah,
she left the stage. She walked onto that stage. She was in, I don't even know, a red or a black dress. Black. And then she walked back on that stage in a beautiful white dress. And just, the emotion that just took over that entire stadium with 12,000 people was incredible. And that's what it was about. Drea was sitting next to me, and I looked at Drea and I was like, that's what it's about. Believing in yourself that you can put on a dress and get out in front of 12,000 people. A dress that you have told yourself for months you can't do and you can't wear. So, really, as I'm saying it out loud, it sounds so weird, but it's so, that's what it is. It's mindset. It's believing in you and believing in the company and believing in our products. So if you don't follow Carrie Wilkerson on Facebook, guys, do it. She is live all the time, maybe even once a day absolutely incredible, and gives a lot of free training. She's awesome.
And one thing, as someone types her name in there for you guys, if you take that whole dress metaphor of this is what I'm supposed to do, it gave me goosebumps, because I kind of live my life with you guys. Hey, you're all my friends, right? So that whole black dress versus white dress, I was meant to do one thing. I was meant to be a teacher and a special ed director. That was my idea. And when I left that and I did this, it wasn't just me that had that idea of you can't wear the white dress or you can't change your destiny of being a teacher forever. Everybody around me did too. And all of it, it upset this whole realm of people, and everybody's saying, well, you're not supposed to do that. What are you doing? And they thought I was crazy. And so I'm saying this to you guys because people might think you're crazy too. Don't think you're alone, because people still think I'm crazy, and you guys don't. You might, whatever. So, but you're not. You're following what you think is right, and you're following your gut. Stick with your gut. Don't waver, because as soon as you do, then all of those people are going to be the I told you so people. No one wants the I told you so people. Push that out of the way. Let them be on their own way and do that on their own. You focus on this, because, guys, if you don't have belief from convention, from everything they talked about last week with these 3 new products that are going to nail it. And last week they talked about Mike Green, the CIO, who's creating the whole back office, which we got a glimpse of that. If you don't have this belief in this company, I don't know what will, because, oh my gosh. So take all of that white dress nonsense out and own it. Even if you have a little doubt, pretend you don't. Suck it up. Own it. And like, here's another little example of tying on the Carrie Wilkerson thing. I was chatting with Monica, who's on this call. I went into the school today, and most of the people there are pretty good in understanding that this is what I do now. But some of the teachers and administrators and staff, they're like, hey, we're kind of having a down day. Do you have any of that stuff on you? And you could give us some to boost us a little bit. And I even said to her, I'm like, I kind of like downplay that, because I don't want to shove it in your face all the time, but sure, why not? So the idea of now people are accepting of it and understanding that, yes, I'm that crazy plexus person. I don't have to puke it to everybody.
That's 3 years, Kat. That's 3 years.
3 years.
We've been doing this.
Yes. And guys, I still have that internal, like, ooh, what are they going to say? I don't care anymore. But in my head, I'm like, they think I'm crazy, but now I don't care.
No,
whatever.
Care.
So get that out of your way. Get that white dress and put it on and own it. So that's my little for Carrie, but she was awesome. I loved her. Okay, so should we?
We actually got to spend like some quality time with her Tuesday night, all by ourselves, like me and Kath, a couple other jewels, and the winners of our convention contest. I see Veronica glowing right now because she got to ride in the cab with her. So she is just an incredible person. Follow her, like her stuff, read her books, whatever you need to do, just go, because she's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of books, I know. See, I'm that squirrel kind of person. I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, squirrel. On the way back from convention, there was a bunch of. You have time on the flight to read and all that. I put a book on there that I thought was on Gold Diggers that was really interesting. It's called the something secret. Oh gosh, now I can't even remember. That book, I'm gonna re-put it again. If somebody can find it and stick it in there. The Strangest Secret. That's what it was, something like that. It was phenomenal. I read it years ago and I forgot how really, really, really good it is. I'm gonna put that in there again.
You read on the way home? You had a red eye. You read on the way home?
I did. I was so tired. It was so hard. Okay, so let's move on to, because we got a lot to cover. And we still have our guest speakers, which we're waiting till the end, so you guys will stick to them because we know you want to hear them and not us, but too bad, stick with us first. Let's talk about the Lexi app in more depth and the Rank Up Roadmap. Before we even get to the details of the Lexi app, I want to do the differences in them and what should you guys do, what should your downline do, if you want to call it downline, your success line, and your customers and all that. How should you begin? The Rank Up Roadmap is in your back office, and if you haven't seen it yet, you need to do that. This is for you guys that are on these calls on a regular basis. If you're on these calls, it means you're a self-starter. Congratulations to you for being a self-starter. And that means that you know that this is a legitimate business and you are going places and you are solid and you know that this is going to get you little tidbits of information to get you further. That is what Rank Up Roadmap is for you. So you go there click on, it's right in your back office, training, rank up roadmap, then click on silver. There's an intro video, that big part in the beginning, then go down underneath. And it looks like there's only 3 squares. Underneath that, click more. There's tons of information there, mind-blowing tons. So it's not going to take you just that amount of time. Take some time with these and do a little bit every day to build you up. Work with your power partner and connect with them. There's so much information there that if you haven't hit silver yet, or if you start on day 1, I shouldn't guarantee, but I really kind of do, that by the time you're done with all of this information, you will hit silver again. If you haven't yet, there's no doubt, if you put this amount of time in every single day, you will find those people that need these products and reach out, and you will be able to use terminology that will bring them in and help them understand. So that is for the majority of those self-starters. That Lexi app, which I'm going to do some screen share in a minute, the Lexi app is for tons of people, but it takes more than just spewing out information. Let me mute everybody again. So Liza, if you want to unmute yourself, and then I'm going to share the screen for my pictures.
The one thing that I do want to say, it was really awesome today. I want everybody to go to Facebook and search Lexi by Plexus. It's a Facebook page. It's not a group. It's a Facebook page. So like it. The psychologist that's associated with Plexus that helped them create the Lexi app is now doing a series of live videos. He did a live video today for about 45 minutes, and it was incredible. Now, Kath and I, just to kind of set you guys up, we know what you guys know at this point. We were given Lexi at the same time you were given Lexi. I've been using it. My ambassadors have been using it, so I'm getting mentoring emails from them. I'm putting customers and prospects on tracks, but I'm being careful because I'm putting people on tracks that I have a relationship with, so that I can be like, okay, I want. It's kind of like practice. So these videos and the information that they're going to give us on this page is going to be invaluable, because the psychologist himself is like, this is why we did what we did. He talks about trust. It's just, go watch the videos. So we're going to give you information, and Kath is awesome, and she's going to give you some visuals to look at. But when it comes down to like detailed questions, we really want you to search, like go to that Facebook page and just watch the video, whatever you need to do to put the time aside to watch those videos.
Absolutely. I completely agree. And the reason why you want to be very, not selective with it, but as Liza said, you need to have a relationship with these people. Mm-hmm. And it will even tell you, the coolest part, it'll say right before, why don't I just show you and I'll walk you through it and I'll talk through that part. All right. Here's the first thing. When you go to add, you guys can see that, right? When you find someone, whether it's a person that's never tried these products before, or they're your current customer, or a brand new ambassador, or an ambassador that hasn't done a whole lot with the business and needs a little more guidance, this is where you start. When you click on the Lexi app, you put their full name, their cell phone number, and their email. Then change Mountain Time to Eastern, because then they'll get text in the middle of the night. You don't want that. And then click on main track. These things underneath, the specialty track is not available yet, but add main track. No matter who it is, do that first, okay? Then, wrong one. Okay, so then it will show you this screen. It's going to show you up at the very, very top, prospects, ambassadors, and preferred customers. If you have someone that you say, you know what, this person might be really interested in one of the products, those are the 3 new ones, so you can put them on one of those tracks and just click on that and it'll make it pink, and then they'll send them something. Or the opportunity track. If you have someone that you're like, they might want to do the business, this is where I'm going to start. When you click on it, it will go pink, and then it will show you Monday through Friday is when they're going to send a text every single day. just to let you know, I changed it one time thinking, oh, my people don't want to get a text every day. It came up with a blurb that said, we have psychologists that have analyzed exactly the terminology they use and how often these information should be out, and this is the best way. If you alter it, it will alter your success. I'm like, well, dude, I'm not changing anything then. Forget that. So I kept it. And so far, so good. So that's for the prospects track. Ambassador track is here. And if you have, this first one is Mentor Me. If you are an ambassador that wants help with building your business, you click on this, you put your sponsor's name in it. So I would put, my sponsor is Christine Savicki. I would put her information in there and click Mentor Me so she could send information to me on how to build my business. That's one thing. And I've done that with a couple people as well so far, which it's working out great. Then these two down underneath are Run and Sprint. These are for a regular ambassador that wants to build this as a business. You Run and Sprint are exactly the same thing. The same pieces of information, the same videos, the same knowledge coming to you. But the thing is that Run will come in a 60-day span. Texts periodically through 60 days. The Sprint is all condensed into 30 days. So it means you're going a little bit faster, pushing this business a little bit faster. Sound good? Good. The next one is preferred customers. These are people that are already on as a customer and you want to give them more information. So I started out with a couple of my triplex customers that have been on for a couple of weeks, but I said, hey, so I messaged them and said, hey, I have this new way of communicating with you. Would you want some more information to keep you on track with your products, because I want you to have the best successes? She writes back, sure, go ahead. So I put them on the triplex customer track. And after they get the very first initial messages they send are 3, and it gives, hey, it's Kathleen. Just to let you know, the phone number that you're getting, this is my work number, something, I don't know the exact wording, but my personal cell phone number is, and they put my personal cell phone number. If you ever want to get in touch with me or call me, use this number, not the one that's being sent, which is pretty cool. And the number that comes is a regular number, not like a 4-digit. It's a full-on 10-digit number, which is cool. So if you can see up at the very tippity top, that lady up at the very top corner, there's 2 little ladies up there. That's Lexi telling me that information is coming from my people to me, and I need to check the Lexi app. Again, super cool. I'll talk about that in a second. Videos for you. These are videos that go out to your prospective people, whatever ambassadors that you have. So if you want to see them, what exactly is going out to them, you can go right to here. Go right down at the very bottom. It says media. Click on that, and you can get information about all the products. Or you can go to launch. And the welcome one is from Tarl, and it says, and it's actually really good videos. So if you haven't checked those out, you should, because these are the things that are going out to your people. So you need to know what's going out to them. All right. So one more thing I want to go through here. There's one more picture. Oh, this is just the home screen, and you can see other pieces of information if you want more training or if you need to call support, that kind of thing. All right. Sound good? I just wanted to give you that piece of information first.
Yeah, that's awesome. And one of the things that the psychologist talked about today, Kath, and I was kind of in and out of live video. I was doing certain things, but he was actually talking about customizing the tracks. How awesome is that? So I plan to watch that video in full tomorrow, but when we're able to customize for our people. Somebody just asked, if I have a wholesale ambassador, where do I put them? Preferred customer? Sure. I would put them as a preferred customer, but the minute they have a story, I'm switching them over to the ambassador, because now I want you to see what the possibilities that are there for you. So, oh my gosh, how fortunate are we to have something like this in our back pocket? Like,
right. Wow. So in terms of the financial part, I don't know if you probably don't know my husband, but my husband's big into computers and knows a lot about that stuff. So when I was telling him about this app, it was before I really understood it, and I was telling him the cost of it, and he's like, apps aren't supposed to cost that much. It's only supposed to be like a couple bucks here and there. And now looking at it, guys, the time and effort and energy that is being put into this, in the videos, and how much personal connection it is, I would spend 3 times as much, because if you look at how much money you're spending per quarter, that would be retaining one customer or one ambassador. If this app helps to keep that person with you longer, it's paying for itself. And you take that stress off of, am I telling them the right thing? Am I telling them, am I keeping in touch with them and making sure that they're doing everything that they need to do? And as Sarah said, yeah, it takes $10 a month. That is
it's professional.
And
it's professional. The emails that come through are so professional. And even the ambassador emails that I'm getting when people are asking to mentor, like, or if I send something to them, think of a new person. Think of the first day that you joined. Wouldn't it have been amazing to get a professional email from your sponsor like that?
Yep.
Amazing.
And it even tells you, as the customer, the triplex customer, they're getting the build up. This is what you're going to expect. And so it gives all that information. But one thing it does not do is give that personal you calling them. Don't use this as, all right, I sign them up, boom, the Lexi app is going to do everything for me, I'm going to move on. No, still date your customer, still date your ambassador, which means give them some loving, call them up. How you feeling? And ask them, do you like these texts? Are you getting them? And you can, the Lexi app will even tell you, hey, it's time to call your ambassador, call your customer, and follow up with them, because this is what they're being told. Every single time that a message goes out to your prospect, customer, ambassador, you get an email of exactly what they're being told. So every day you're going to get messages from Lexi telling you, Patty got this today, which is wonderful. But so this is the back and forth of do you do rank up to roadmap with your people or Lexi? Don't put your entire ambassador, everybody in there, because you will be overwhelmed with emails, and you are going to use that too much of a crutch.
Actually, Nikki Lynch just said that the emails are kind of on purpose, because I've had people reach out to me and say, hey, can I put you, like, ambassadors who have been in for quite some time, can I put in a mentor email? Of course. And then I realized how many emails were coming. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go slow with this myself. So Nikki, I'm going slow. And this is somebody who's been in the business for over 3 years. I'm new customers who are ordering the new Slim and Triplex right now, or even customers last month, or new ambassadors. Those are the only ones I'm adding right now, because I'm not comfortable until I know the app and I know everything behind it. So I'm only doing a few people in each category until I get comfortable with it.
Absolutely. And if you defaulted, this is how I started it, because I get nervous the same way. I didn't know how it would look to other people. So what I did, I picked one ambassador and I called them and said, hey, you're going to be my guinea pig. I want you to screenshot what I'm sending you. What does it look like to you? So pick your battle buddy if you have one. That we said said like 4 times tonight. If you don't have one, you got to get one. So get your buddy and say, hey, I'm going to do this for you. You screenshot it, show me what it says, and you message back and forth in the app, get comfortable with it. But you really, if you're not sure who to use it for customers more than ambassadors.
I agree with that.
And as the ambassadors, if they're already in as ambassadors, get a group of you guys together and hold each other accountable for the rank up roadmap part, and team that way together. You definitely put in new ambassadors to get them going, great. But just know that there's a lot more to this app than just throwing people in. That's my soapbox for today. Oh, that Facebook group, you did talk about that, which is huge. If you haven't done that, get on that too. All right.
Okay.
Anything else with that? I think we're good.
The other thing that I wanted to bring up, well, can I talk about the online event on Wednesday?
Oh, yay!
Okay, so next Wednesday, which is the 14th, the 14th, we have been in the past, we have done evening events for an hour long, 8 to 9 or 8 to 9:30 or whatever, and we've jam-packed 20 posts into 1 hour. The Diamonds and Sapphires, and then the Diamonds alone, got to hear from Jen Hawkins and how she does her online events, and we're kind of stealing what she's done and modifying.
We're duplicating.
Sorry, we're duplicating. There's my diamond upline. We're duplicating what she does, but we're modifying it a bit. She does her online events for 4 days, but what we're gonna do, and it's usually like 30 to 40 posts, and we're going to do an online event for 1 full day. So probably from 7 o'clock in the morning, which is the best time for Facebook, until 9 o'clock at night, which is the best time for Facebook, all throughout the course of the day, we are going to make about 30 to 35 posts. And we want this to be the most attended Facebook event we have ever done. So that means we need to have over 5,000 people.
At least.
The one big one that we did, there was myself and I think like 6 or 7 other jewels across the nation. We did an event and we had, I don't even know, maybe we even have more than that, Kath, maybe like 9,000 even. We want thousands of people in this event. There's no excuse for having people in the event because they can go back to it. It's going to be all day. It's not like they have to sit on their couch for an hour and keep refreshing. We want you to use the very simple verbiage that we gave you last time, which is something like, hey girl, my team is hosting an online event on Wednesday. I'd really like to add you. Can I add you? 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, yeah, sure, not a problem. Like, boom, that's it. So just make your list. Do what you need to do to get your people on your Franks list in that opportunity event, because it is going to be incredible. Our posts are going to be more detailed. We might even have more live videos and videos in general throughout the course of the day, because it's going to be more doable to do videos. And for me personally, I don't like videos, but if people can see my emotion when I'm talking, that's what I want. So it's really going to be an amazing event. So that's next Wednesday. A week ago yesterday, all day. We're going to have all the jewels are going to be posting throughout the course of the day.
In addition to that, go back to, don't just think of all your new people that you're prospecting now. Go back to your old customers, your old ambassadors, and say something like, I know you walked away for a reason, but this company has changed so much and these products have changed so much. I would love you just to get a glimpse of what it's like now. And if it's a customer, you could say, and I know that I can help you much more now because I have so much more knowledge than I did before, but the products are so much better than they were before. Something short, sweet, to the point. But we really have, oh my God, the amount that we've changed in just 6 months' time is insane. So definitely reach back out to those old customers and old ambassadors too. And as Erin said last time, she's like, I hate raising the dead, but this is the time where you do, because think about it. These
are coming back.
I know, so many are. But the people that joined you over the past however long you've been, think of that first customer that you ever got, that first ambassador that ever joined you. They joined because they believed in you and they were looking for something. So now think, okay, they left for a reason. Did they get their goal? Did they reach their goal? Not probably. If financially, no, or else they wouldn't have quit. I can tell you that one. Health-wise, maybe they did. Maybe they faltered a bit. Who knows? So go back and ask them and say, now these products are so much better. We can help you reach whatever goals you have. Just give it a shot. something.
Yep.
But man, I can't wait for that. So if you're unsure of it, we're going to put a ton more information in the Gold Diggers group over the next couple of days for that.
Yeah. Yep. We'll put the group link in the page and everything. We'll be good. Yeah.
Right. So I told you guys we had a crap ton to talk about today. That's my word, crap ton.
We have to get to our guest speakers.
I know. All right. Let's get to it. All right. Let's get to those. Just to let you guys know, one part, the very last day, what Plexus did was break apart all these 12,000 people into groups, manageable groups, and they focused on the ambassador to silvers were in one group, gold, senior gold were in another group, ruby and senior ruby were in another, right? And emerald was in another, and sapphire and diamond were in another. Every single one of those groups had the same focus. They had three categories: building yourself, building your brand, and building your business. So that looks different for a diamond ambassador than it may have for a silver ambassador of building your brand or building your business. It looks a little bit different. So what we did is ask two wonderful ladies that came to convention with us. And Liza, why don't you introduce our first one?
Okay, so our first ambassador was in the Ambassador to Silver focus group breakout session, probably the largest breakout session, which is really incredible because when you look around the room, when they say all silvers stand up and you look and you're like, holy crap, like that's a lot of silvers. That's so awesome. Veronica was there, and she is going to spend about 5 or 10 minutes, just really brief, and give us some information on what she was. Well, first she's going to tell us what diamond ambassadors trained her, right, Veronica? And what she learned from the training. So it's all yours, honey. Have at it.
Hey, everyone. First of all, I want to tell everyone convention, this was my first one. It blew me away, and I earned the jewel incentive, and it was insane how those girls treated us. And yes, I was in a taxi cab with two other people with Carrie Wilkerson. That was mind-blowing. And then to be on the big Ferris wheel thing with her, insane. I have to tell everyone, you can't understand until you're there how convention feels. So get there. We heard from Melissa Eifenhorst, I'm probably saying her name wrong, and Jennifer Leaf and Tamara Holloway. So one of the main things that was really put into us, because we're silver and below, and was commitment. So they really talked about what level of commitment are we at? Are we willing to sacrifice? And if so, what is our why? Because our why is what's going to make us sacrifice. So they really encouraged us to dig deep into our why, not just surface. But if your why is to not go to work, well, why don't you want to go to work anymore? For me, it's because I love being home with my kids. I went from full-time to part-time already, but why do I want to keep going? What is my commitment? Why do I want to keep digging deeper? And so they really, really want to push you to find your why, because that's going to help you with your commitment levels. And one of the quotes that I loved is, commitment is what separates the dreamer from the doer. So they also told us that with the commitment, so many of us expect too little in the long run. We don't think anything's going to happen in the long run, but in the short run, we want a ton of things, and that's not always the case. And they also said, if you really want to give yourself a line in the sand where you say, okay, I will quit at this point, they said that level needs to be 100 ambassadors that you personally sign. So they said that for commitment, you cannot sign until you cannot quit until you have personally signed 100 ambassadors. And they put it up on the board, and I don't honestly remember which one it was. I think it was Melissa. And her graph showed that number 26 is currently an emerald, but number 76 is an emerald or a sapphire. And she said, what if I just stopped at 26? What if I didn't keep pushing to 76? And I think she had someone at 67. The other thing they pointed out was it's only a few small core group in that 100 that's going to build your team. So you just have to keep going. So if you want a quit level, it has to be 100 level ones. They also talked a lot about your social media page, taking pride in it as you're building your brand. And they said you really should put a headshot. And if you look at, I know Liza has a headshot on her page and Kathleen might, I can't remember. They said put a headshot in there. Tell a story in your description, not like you work at, your mom. Make it a story about yourself. And I'm still working on my story, so don't go to my page. It's not there yet. And also, they want you to show more pictures of yourself. They want you to feel comfortable enough to put your face out there. Maybe do that live video or put that picture of you being silly or drinking your Slim or something, because people want to see you. They don't want you hiding behind hiding behind the screen, basically. So, because if you put pictures out, it shows that you're not embarrassed of who you are and that you're not ashamed of who you are as a person, and it shows your confidence. They also talked about being in a line with the brand. So we don't always have to mention the word plexus, but if we show it up kind of like, hey, I had the energy to get to the gym today, or I took the kids out for ice cream, but I didn't have any, I wasn't craving it. Without saying plexus, it kind of made people wonder, like, why didn't she eat ice cream today? And then as we're building our business, they really talked about if you can get an ambassador in your downline to promote to silver, they're more likely to stick with you. They talked about getting involved in your community, building intentional friendships. So whether that, we've talked before about like nextdoor.com, or last night I went to a fundraiser at a firehouse, and the Ladies Auxiliary is like, hey, do you want to join the Ladies Auxiliary? Think outside the box of what might be out there that you can get involved in without widening your circle of friends and being intentional about it. The other thing they pointed out is fortune is in the follow-up, and I am living proof of how fortune is in the follow-up. A lot of you know my story. My father passed away suddenly on vacation in February, and I signed 3 people in March, dealing with driving cross country, dealing with flying and driving through I don't know how many different time zones in a week, dealing with my father's death, and 3 people joined my team within 12 days of my father's passing. Why? Because I had planted seeds 2-3 months prior and just kept following up periodically. I really wasn't working my business when those people signed. All I was doing was just being myself and checking in with them and just doing follow-ups. So if you want proof that follow-up works, I'm proof. Also, when you sign an ambassador, really celebrate their small accomplishments. So when they get their very first customer order, cheer for them. Do a big shout out on Facebook. Talk about it. Like, make it a big deal so they feel successful. When they get their first ambassador, when they do their first event, whatever that might look like to them, celebrate those. And then finally, time management. They said for silver and below, it's 80% prospecting, recruiting, and follow-up. 80% of your time should be spent in those 3 areas. And then along with that, you should know your success kit very well so that when you're ready to train an ambassador onto your team, you can walk them through it easily.
Awesome. I love it. Like that I love how each breakout session has the same context, but the content is so different. And you know what, Melissa Eichenhorst, she has an amazing video, and the video is titled, Who is Your 76?
Really?
That's
okay.
Titled because her first Jewel Ambassador was her 76th level 1. So it's so awesome that she brought that up, because that's one of my favorite videos of hers, and she's just an incredible person to begin with. And you had a hot stuff of Diamond Ambassadors there. So thank you so much, Veronica, for coming on tonight. I know your boys are probably home and you have to get off because you might have to work tomorrow, but thank you so much. We really appreciate it. and what for representing the silver and below. So thank you so much for that. Cass, before you introduce Danielle, can I just, I've been watching Danielle and Meredith. It's hysterical. It's hysterical. When I saw Meredith on the screen, I said to myself, why wasn't she at convention? Number one. Number two, I hope she's at Leaders. And number three, they are hysterical because on my screen, they're right under each other. And I love them. So I'm just going to let you introduce Danielle because I can't.
I know. We had, when Liza and I were chatting, Liza and I were talking about who we were going to pick to do these. And immediately I'm like, well, Danielle's a teacher. She takes better notes than like all 12,000 people put together. So she's got to do this because she had notes. And so I can ask her last minute. She'll be like, and of course she'll be like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do whatever you want. So Danielle, my dear, these are the reasons why we do this, because never in a million years would I have met this face. How can you love this face? So my dear Danielle is going to represent the Golden Senior Gold group. So bust out your notes and your little pen and tell us all the awesome stuff that you learned.
And Liza, thanks for that intro, because I completely told them not to make me laugh, and then there you are, and I'm dying, and I'd already unmuted myself, so I'm sorry for the laughter. You guys, Gold Senior Gold was amazing. We had Sarah Marble, Helen McFadden, and Michelle Thomas. So it was just one amazing story and bit of inspiration after the next. It was awesome. So Sarah Marble starts with top 10 of how to get to the next level. So when Sarah Marble's telling you that, of course you listen and you start writing fiercely. So her number one thing was consistency. And what I loved about it is she said small things again and again. So not to take on the whole world in one day and think you have to repeat that, but small things again and again will turn into massive results. She said the second thing to get to the top 10 ways to get to the next level is your mindset. Positive mindset, replace your negative with warm and loving thoughts. She said the third thing is your vision. You have to know where you're going in order to get there. Set the destination so you can get there. So it's all about your GPS taking you there, and it's about the lives that you're changing along the way. She said, of course, number 4 was hard work, and it was the theme of every person who spoke at convention of they're not going to say it's easy, but it's absolutely worth it. Number 5 was personal growth, and I love this. She said that network marketing was personal growth with a comp plan. So I thought that was awesome. Number 6, to taking it to the next level, was all about your attitude and being positive and the way you see things and the way you present yourself with your attitude. Number 7 was having a long-term plan and having reasonable expectations. Number 8, which got a round of applause, and I know we'll all love, is prayer daily. So every morning she says, Lord, show me whose life I can touch and help today. So every day she's saying, whose life can I touch every day? Number 9 was your belief. If your belief, see where you are on the belief scale, 1 to 10. And if you're not where you need to be, kind of like Liza said, borrow it from them, but do whatever you need to do with personal growth to get there. So she said your belief needs to be there. And number 10, 110%, is an accountability partner. So if you don't have one, get one. And thanks to Kathleen, I have one, and she's awesome. And it's just the best feeling to know that you have somebody every day that you could be like, this happened to me, this happened to me, this happened to me in like an awesome way. And you don't feel like you're bragging to somebody. You just know that that person's expecting you to check in. And if we don't check in with each other at the end of the day, she's like, hello, where are you? Did you exercise? Did you drink your water? Did you take your products? And tell me what you did with your business today. So for me, my accountability partner is also about some self issues. So she helps with that too. But your accountability partner for everything you need, because you are your business. You're the product of the product. So for yourself and for your business. So that was Sarah Marble on how to build your business and get to the next rank. Michelle Thomas. Oh, how adorable is she? Oh my goodness. Okay, so she talked all about building your brand. She talked about that you're not a logo, and she had like all these logos up on the screen, and she talked about like the Starbucks logo and that you don't go there because of the Starbucks logo, but you go there because of what it represents. You know, hanging out with your friends, having your coffee, having your time with them. So she talked about branding is about your influence. People come to you for your brands because of how you act, how you react, and how you relate. She talked about how it's attraction marketing. And she talked about how it's the kind of wife you are, the kind of mother you are, the kind of friend you are. So you have to be in alignment in your life. How you treat people and how you get along with the people closest to you is how you'll be in your business. So she talked about you need to see what kind of mother and wife you are, because how you are to the people closest to you is if you're not wonderful to them, how can you be wonderful to other people? So that was huge. I thought that was a really powerful statement. Change your attitude. Now it's a choice. So, and she asked you questions and she said, do I have the attitude of those that I want to attract? So ask yourself those questions and just get real with yourself about how are you acting to those closest to you, and are people going to gravitate towards that? She talked about, it was really cute. She talked about how when she gets her nails done, she goes in and she chooses to smile, and how the person there always talks about how whenever you come in here, you're always smiling and you're always happy. So just thinking about that, you attract people to you because of your attitude. She talked about how we all have strengths and that comparison is the thief of your joy. She says that I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a teacher. Like, who are you? Figure out who you are. People have success, and that you just happen to be with the best company on earth. So have that power in what you say. She talked about the logistics. She was talking about, I'm sorry. She was talking about cat lovers, and she put up there like all these cats, and I happen to be a little kitty lover, but she was like, that doesn't need to be your profile picture. Like, get that off your profile. People need to see you. So review your brand and be intentional with everything that you put on your Facebook and on your social media. And she's like, yeah, you're a hot mess, and that's fine, but you don't have to show it. She's like, and to say that it's real, that you're a hot mess, like, we all know we are, but we don't have to say it. So when you're taking a picture, and so, right, she holds up her camera and she's moving it. Like, she's like, move your camera so that way the kitchen mess isn't behind you. Like, how hard is it to not have the loaded dishes in the picture behind your selfie? So hence why you see the wall behind me, right? Because you don't need to see what's going on around the room. So it's just being, reviewing what you're making your world look like. And it's not fake. It's just, they don't need to see that you're a hot mess. And I just love that she said that. And then she challenged us. So I haven't done this yet, but she challenged us to have our upline review our Facebook page. So she's like, have them go through your Facebook page and see what they think of you, and have them give you that criticism. So she then talked about how people are attracted to funny, smart, and inspiring people. So she wants you to post 3 times a day. She told us, post 3 times a day, something educational, something inspirational, and something amusing. Something educational, something inspirational, and something amusing. She's like, because that's who people are attracted to. They want to hang out with funny, smart people and people who are inspiring. So she just says that image matters. And she's like, and as great as it is to run out of the house in your workout clothes and no makeup and a hat on your head, she's like, your image matters and your self-confidence matters as a result of that. So you have to get comfortable within yourself and be ready to talk to somebody. So take an extra minute, take a little more care, and be a little more confident. And of course, every time I'm out not looking like that, I think of my mother who's like, didn't you put your face on and your makeup? And I'm like, and my mom's on the call, so she's loving that I just said that. But I mean, it's true. She's right. So thanks, Mom. And just get comfortable being uncomfortable. And I know we hear that all the time, but it's so true. We have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. So Helen McFadden was up last, and I loved that she called our team our volunteer army. She was like, they can come and go as they please. They're your volunteer army. She talked about the power of 3 and just the absolute importance of that. She also, like they did in silver, they focused on level 1s. You are your foundation. You are the strongest person on your team. You are the most important player of your team. Don't take the best player out of your team. So when you stop signing level 1s, you've taken the best player out of the game. So you need to be the power player, and you need to build your foundation, because you need to build wide, so that way you can build deep. Don't put your future in the hands of your team. The speed of the team is the speed of the leader. So it's everything that we keep hearing, but when Helen McFadden's saying it to you, you're just like, oh my gosh, Liza, Kathy, Amy, they all told us this, but yes, okay, right? I mean, you're just like, it's like goosebumps all over you. So focusing on always getting your newbies to silver by leading by example, and you always getting to silver. And I love this. She said, keep your newbies in your pocket. She was like, the first month, you make them feel special. You have to know their why. You need to develop your leadership through them. So you're developing your leadership about asking them questions, digging deep with them. What would it feel like to have your kids graduate set free? Like, get to their why and then make it even deeper for them to make them envision and feel that. Okay, she couldn't talk enough about, and they offer this to us all the time, so we need to say yes and do this. Doing calls, 3-way calls, guys. We have to do them. 20 minutes. She's like, you have to get on those 3-way calls. You need to act, not overthink things. People don't care how much you know. They want to know how much you care. She talked about 2.5 hours. So gold, senior gold. She talked about doing a 2.5 hour of plexus time. She talked about your power hour being your 3-2-1, 3 new contacts, getting new contacts every single day. Well, she actually said 4 to 5 times a week doing this. So she gave you a few days off if you wanted it, which like all of a sudden seems like, okay, I can do that. 2 customer follow-ups every day and 1 sharing the business every day. That you have to be duplicatable, because if they can see you doing it, then they know that they can do it too. You don't have to be poised and perfect. You just have to be real so they can see it. That you have to love people unconditionally, because when you make people feel good, they're less likely to leave you. She kept calling them a volunteer army again, and I thought that was the greatest description of your team. She's like, they're your volunteer army, and if you make it fun and you make them want to stay, they're going to stay. Always be consistent and true to your word. Have meetings and trainings. She talked about always doing a team call at that level. You should absolutely be doing team calls of your own, and that just layering that team culture. She said that, I loved this. Every night when you go to bed, she's like, you need to reflect on your day. You cannot go to sleep without thinking about what worked today and what didn't work today. And what can I do different tomorrow to make what happened today even better? So I just love that. Like, always thinking, and I say that to my students. Like, I'm always like, guys, whatever you do today, like, as long as it was better than yesterday, then you have achieved something. So it's like, I don't know why I can say that to 4th graders, but I don't think about it in my own world. She talked about using that sponsor checklist. I loved this. Okay, so she does a coaching call with all of her ambassadors. She finds out, and she has a notebook of this, and she wrote it down. She has the why. She writes down their short-term goals. She writes down long-term goals. And then I love, she wrote down positive attributes about them. She's like, and then when I'm going back and talking, like, I know what I think they're good at from what they've talked about. And she always writes down a quote of something they've said. So it just goes back to making that person feel special, because I'm sure, like Helen McFadden, hello, how many people does she have that she talks to? She can't remember all of those little details. And hopefully we're never going to be able to do that either, because we're going to grow so big, right? So having this list, like, she has this notebook just for her coaching calls. And I just think that was awesome. So their why, short-term and long-term goals, attributes, and a quote they said to themselves. And then they ended with question and answers, which I thought were awesome. They were asked, what did they think was the most important thing? And one of them said that the strong team culture is the difference between having 100 people on your team or 1,000. The team culture is what makes that number multiply. They said to learn what motivates people. So create a culture that's fun. People are followers. So what you do makes or breaks your success. So what we're doing is going to make or break our success. She talked about one of like her incentives is every person on her team, when they go silver, they get a t-shirt, and everybody knows that. So that's like the incentive of they got the t-shirt from her. That was Michelle. To be a servant leader, don't segregate, don't separate, lock arms, and just run with them. being all in, and I love this. This was Sarah. She was like, being all in, closing the back door. This was Helen. She's like, close the back door. There's no plan B. She believes in this company. She believes in Tarla and Alec. She believes in herself. Draw the line so deep in the sand that your toes are touching China. I was like, I loved that. I was like, yes. Develop a rapport. This is Michelle. So she says the most important thing for her business, she feels like, was developing rapport of how you bring up plexus is that people take notice if you notice them. She's like, ask questions to people. If you ask questions, they ask questions back, so things naturally come up. You don't have to just spill it and tell them all of it. And the worst thing that's going to happen in that is that they don't ask questions back, and you just made somebody feel good today, and you've left that impact on them. I thought that was awesome. And then this was the last question and answer, and it was great. They asked Sarah how she deals with white lines. She's like, white lines? I have white lines? It was adorable, right? Like, I mean, can you imagine? So she's like, sometimes it's just the nature of the business. Stop beating yourself up about it. She's like, here's the reality. You need to release the responsibility off of you. The obligation of those white lines is not yours. She's like, some people crawl, some people walk, some people run, some people sprint. She said, and some, they go into hiding and they're in the witness protection program and you never see them again. So, you know, when you hear Sarah Marble saying that, your white lines don't feel so bad. So it was just really powerful on how to build your business, how to build yourself, and it was a wonderful time. So I loved being there, and like everyone else says, it's the place to be. So we'll see you at Leaders.
Oh my gosh. Lord, Danielle. Told you she took good notes. Told you. Jeez. So, and in the middle of it, somebody asked about your like top 10 kind of thing. Could you put that, was it Sarah's top 10 thing? Could you type that and put that in the Gold Diggers group? Would you mind?
Sure.
Okay, good. I knew you wouldn't mind. But Danielle, there was tons. Like, you encompass so much. And you're absolutely right that it doesn't matter how many times we say it. It's when they say it, it makes all the difference and it changes everything. So I loved it, loved it. And
well, I just said I didn't say it didn't matter when you said it.
But it's just,
I said it was
different. It's different. Like, it hits home.
It's different.
It hits home. It totally does. I totally understand that. And the whole idea of white lines, I always look at white lines as like gray hair. As you go on, as you mature, you get gray hair. No one loves it. Everyone gets them. So you either embrace it, you cover it, but you got to move on because they're going to be there as you mature with the company. Same kind of deal. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Both of you, thank you.
Jeez, that was good stuff. So again, I mean, she plowed through that in what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and we were there for what, 3 hours? Could you imagine how it would really hit home in 3-hour span? And the Veronica's 3 diamonds and your 3 diamonds, they are solid. So thank you, both of you ladies, so much. Before we end the call, I know that we are way over time. One thing we did not talk about that I want to make sure you guys do is the new products that are there for us. Educate yourself. Go in that back office. Go to Shareables and educate yourself on those things. And
use them.
Yeah, use them. There's the frequently asked questions, the tons of information, and all of the science behind it, they're there too. You don't have to spew it or put all that on your Facebook wall because it might not be so bringing people in, like Veronica was talking about pictures and all that. Your own pictures do much more so than the Shareables do, but use that for your own knowledge. And if people, you're talking with someone about it, use those in a private message. Solid, professional education for them. So use that stuff. Lastly, building your business, as Danielle and Veronica shared, going back to Kendra Hall with tying in building your brand. Stories will build your brand. Chat with us, chat with your buddy, and you are interesting. You are interesting. People like you. You have friends. You're connectable. This company is intriguing to those people. All you have to do is connect the two things together. put your own story with this company, and people will be interested. If they're interested in you, they'll be interested in this as well. It's just they don't know enough, so it's our job to bring it back around. But Liza, did you want to share anything else?
No, I think we jammed a lot into an hour and 15 minutes. And I know we did go over time, and I apologize for that, but we had so much. So I personally have been going back to my old customers. I have old customers coming back. I have old ambassadors coming back. And I'm just utilizing my Franks list and building on my network every single day, and planting seeds, and people that I spoke to in May about new Slim coming available, they're ordering now. It's all good. It's awesome stuff, guys. We have to use what Plexus is giving us, and that is amazing things Plexus is giving us.
Educate yourself on the microbiome. What is it? Akkermansia, what is it? Educate yourself. You are a professional. You're a business person. So you should know what your brand is, what you're trying to present to others. So educate yourself on that stuff so that you sound much more professional and not so, I don't know. But it's
watch those videos. Those videos that they have back there, the detailed videos, amazing, incredible. Share them. Use the shareables. Good stuff we're given.
Great stuff.
Yep.
So I'm going to stop the recording at this point.